how shattering is that?
Yeah, look, it's real disappointing for the group. We played with a pretty good intensity up till half time, but the second half we got smashed again in stoppages. So inability for us to keep winning the ball cost us, and might not have heard it on the scoreboard during the third quarter, but it was something that was rearing its head, and we just didn't have enough guys to be able to continue to win the ball. And I think it was 23-12 or something at half time, and ended up being 43-40 their way. So it was a complete reversal in the second half.
Your resilience has been questioned. What did you make of it today?
I thought they came at us, we came back. They came at us, we came back. But our inability to stick to our structures in the last quarter cost us the game.
Is it a you thing, or is it something?
There's a part of it. Yeah, there's a part of it. There's a part of it of just mentally keeping your mind on the game and knowing exactly what you've got to do in certain areas, and that certainly cost us today, and allowed Brisbane to get a hold of the ball, and they were able to score at will to some extent.
How do you see the way forward, Matthew, through recruitment or natural improvement, or both, or is there any underlying factor?
Definitely through recruitment. There's some positive there. I thought, Harper to be able to play with the injury he had last week, and was pretty good at half back, and then they changed the role on him in the second half to try and limit him, so we had to throw him a little bit more on ball, and he was good for us. Schultz's game was pretty good. I thought Jacobs probably had his best game for us. It wasn't a great game for him, but he actually showed the most he's shown for us. O'Shea was able to do some stuff. Salter, got done a couple of times, but it wasn't too bad for the first time this year, down back as AFL level. So, there was things there. I thought Boak worked pretty hard. So, look, there was gains of our young guys. I thought actually showed a bit. They messed up a couple of times, which is expected. It was probably the group above that weren't able to just keep delivering for every quarter.
But long term, you see those guys improving, but the rest of us don't improve. Do you think to take?
Oh, yeah. Look, there's a little bit of improvement.
Can't say today. Sorry, mate.
What we've got here are the squad that's going to take us forward. We've obviously know Broggs isn't going to be next year, and we'll probably make a couple of other changes. But I'm as disappointing as it is where we're sitting on the ladder at the moment. There is light at the tunnel about what our core group of young guys are able to achieve week in, week out. But we need to constantly get some more support for them from the guys above them.
How do you solve that clearance issue when you're going against tough?
It might sound sickening saying it, but it's an education process during the week, going back and looking at it and seeing how they got on top of us and why. It's there's certain guys that their minds just don't stay on. Things are getting a little bit harder. I've got to dig in a little bit more. Or I thought we probably coughed the ball up a bit too much when we had first possession. I think we beat them in first possession, but we coughed it up and let them get on the outside of us, and that cost us on a few occasions, not just out of stoppage, but in general contests. I thought so. And inability to hold the ball in. Certainly something we have to work on.
How crucial was the drop mark from Brett Edwards just before three-quarter time, and then got the ball back to Kane, who miskicked it, 20 points up, Brown gets a goal, the whole game turns?
Oh, look, there's lots of significant moments. I think they scored late before half time too. All scores late before the quarter's going to finish, they hurt you, but they're also just a part of the game, so you just got to come in and rebound. And I think we might have had the first couple of shots in the start of the last quarter, or we had chances to impact on the scoreboard. So, you'd like to ice the game at that stage and keep control of the ball. But that's the ability of this game. You just can't afford to have a lapse in concentration, because teams are pretty good now, hurting off the turnover, and I think we kicked more than them, or scored more off the turnover than them. But a couple of them were pretty crucial against us.
Matthew, the cliche goes that sides forget how to win, and is lack of belief a problem for the group? To control for a chunk of that game, and then unfortunately, obviously from late in the third quarter, it just seemed to slip away.
And look, no doubt that the longer you go without a win, the harder in your mind it can seem that wins can feel further away. So no doubt the group will be feeling like that. But it's this caper AFL is pretty tough, and it's hard to get 4 points whether you're on the bottom of the ladder or as we saw Geelong and Essendon yesterday, it's hard to get 4 points, and we've got to realise to be able to get it, you've got to play probably 3.5 quarters of footy before you can get 4 points of that, and we haven't been able to do that this year on enough occasions, and we're showing we're capable of doing it at periods, but it's just not enough. And it's not a fitness issue. It's not a youth issue because we've played teams that are as young as us. So it's the mental capacity just to keep your mind fixed on the contest and on the task.
Do you think the players actually believe they can do it as a collective?
Yeah, look, they do. Otherwise, they'd show up and you get blown away early in games, or you get totally blown away. And we've. Towards the start of the year, I think we had a couple of heavy defeats, but we haven't had some real super heavy defeats, and they certainly keep going to the task that we're giving them. They just haven't had the ability to keep finishing it off, and that's been the disappointing thing because they know that they're capable of doing it. They just haven't been able to do it. So, we've just got to be able to bounce back now and look forward to playing at home next week.
They're a pretty shattered group tonight. How do you keep them up and about for the last couple of months of the season?
It's up to every individual to show some pride for the club. The footy club's been through a fair bit this year, and you just got to show some pride in that you actually want to be an AFL footballer, and it is a difficult caper, but there's a lot of other, there's 600 other players out there who are going through difficult times too. So we just got to knuckle down and. Be disappointed for a couple of days, but there's another game around the corner, and we're to prepare ourselves for that. And there's no good moping around. It's only going to inhibit our ability to play well Sunday against St Kilda.
Push you right down on the wooden spoon contention now. How keen are you to avoid that?
The big picture of it all will sort itself out. Of the players and the coaches' ability just to keep persevering and showing some grit over the next 8 weeks we've got left. And if we do that, the wooden spoon stuff will sort itself out. But we've put ourselves in a position that's where we're at the moment.
Not many players get to kick 7 goals in a game. He's talking about what Schultz did.
Yeah, look, he's obviously had missed a fair chunk of the season with a knee injury, but he's continued to be a focal point for us. He's become a real good leader around the club in our leadership group, and today and all through the year he stood up for us in games, and he was certainly spent at the end, but it was a terrific performance by him to keep us in the game when we needed to. So it was unfortunate we couldn't cap a win off of that.
Jackson Trengo on Brown, he kicked 4, but one-on-one they seemed matching pretty well.
Yeah, look, I thought Jackson's game was pretty good. He, in the end they got a fair bit of supply in the second half down to him, and I thought Jackson completed really well. And Jackson's played 25 odd games, Brownie's played 250 and 4 flags or 3 flags or whatever it is. So I thought it was a great step in Jackson's career, and shows of how important he is to us going forward.
And how important to keep him at the club? Obviously, he's out of contract at the end of the season.
We make no hide from the fact that we love Jackson to be here. We, know what he's capable of as a player, but also as a person, we know what he can do, off field for us and what kind of leader he is. So, I think today just enforced how important we see him, and he's certainly well aware of that. So, we'll continue to work with him, and hopefully we can sign him up soon.
Confident he'll stay?
Oh yeah, as confident as you can be. We all know it's a different environment out there with players coming out of contract, but we've done a fair bit of work with Jackson, and he's doing a fair bit of work for us off the field and on the field, and he's showing all the indications that he will. But until you actually sign him on the dotted line, you don't know.
Kane Corn's decision to start him as a sub.
Yeah, look, a bit of the balance of the team. We wanted to put O'Shea and Jacobs and Salter down back, and we're probably thinking our second halves we use Kane's run and through the middle of the ground, which the game probably didn't eventuate our way for that to happen. We didn't win enough of the ball for him to get a lot of it, so that was the case of that.